Now let's learn the decorations. Let's take a look at the finished product. The decorations include the cup sleeve, chocolate sauce, chocolate stick, rabbit, strawberry and strap. Now move on to the cup sleeve. It is removable. Crochet the main part of the cup sleeve. Crochet decorative lines on the top and bottom sides. Sew on the leather label. Please watch me demonstrate. Below, we start with the foundation chain. The loop on the hook does not count as part of the stitch count. Everyone, cast on the required number of chains according to the chart. My starting chain count is random here. Look at the back of the chain stitches. Do not twist the chain stitches. Insert your hook into the first chain stitch, pick up the inside loop, and join with a slip stitch to form a circle. Check the stitch count. The foundation chain is complete. Below, we start with the first round. Pick up the inside loop of each chain stitch and work a single crochet. Crochet according to the chart until the end. Pick up the first single crochet stitch of this round. Make one slip stitch. The first round is complete. After finishing, place it over the main piece at this position. Check the size. If it stays without slipping, the fit is proper. Next, start crocheting rounds 2 through 7. These rounds do not involve any new stitches or techniques. Everyone can follow the chart to complete them. Pay attention to this. After completing the round with increases, you need to check the stitch count. Up to this point, rounds 2 through 7 have been covered. Next, we will crochet the decorative strands. On both top and bottom sides of the main piece, there is one decorative strand on each side. I'll start with the top one. The choice of yarn here is flexible. Please refer to the chart while crocheting. Begin by looking at the right side of the main piece. The side where you can clearly see the single crochet stitches is the right side. Insert your hook into any single crochet stitch to start. Pull the yarn through. Pick up the next stitch and work a slip stitch. Be sure not to make the slip stitch too tight. Continue crocheting. Pick up each stitch and work a slip stitch. Bring the yarn tail up and hide it. Work the last slip stitch. Leave a 10 cm yarn tail. Follow the chain stitch pattern. Bring the yarn tail to the wrong side of the fabric. Weave in the ends. From the right side, the decorative line looks continuous. There's no visible seam. Next, crochet the lower decorative line. Look at the right side of the main piece. Hold the main piece like this. Pick up the stitches here. Use the same method. Everyone complete it. Up to this point, the decorative lines are done. Next, sew on the leather label. Place the starting position at the back. Sew the leather label onto the center of the front side. Divide the yarn used for the main piece into strands. Take out one strand. Insert it into the needle with a golden tail. Tie a knot first on the wrong side. Hide the yarn tail while you're at it. Bring the yarn to the right side. Sew the leather label onto the right side of the main piece. Bring the sewing yarn back to the wrong side. Tie a knot. Weave in the yarn tails and then cut off. One side of the leather label is now sewn on. Use the same method. Everyone sew the other side. Up to this point, the sewing of the leather label is complete. Move on to crochet the chocolate sauce part. It looks like a flower with multiple petals. Now, let's show. Below, start crocheting rounds 1 through 8. The crocheting method for the first 8 rounds of the chocolate sauce is identical to the crocheting method used for the first 8 rounds of the bag cover. Everyone completed according to the chart. After finishing round 8, check the stitch count according to the chart. Up to this point, rounds 1 through 8 are done. Below, start crocheting round 9. Crochet 1 chain as the standing stitch. Crochet 3 single crochets. Crochet 5 chains. Reserve 2 means inserting the hook into the second to last stitch. Count back 2 chain stitches. Pick up the inside loop of the second chain stitch. Crochet 1 slip stitch. Continue forward and crochet 3 more slip stitches. Remember not to crochet too tight. Pick up the single crochet stitch and crochet 1 single crochet. Crochet 1 SC2 in 1. Crochet according to the chart until the end. Crochet 4 single crochets. Pick up the first single crochet stitch. Crochet 1 slip stitch. The 9th round is completed. Below, start crocheting the 10th round. Crochet 1 chain for the beginning chain. Insert the hook in the same position. Crochet 1 slip stitch. Skip 2 stitches. What comes after K? This means skip a certain number of stitches. Skip 2 stitches. Crochet 4 double crochets. Pick up the top stitch. Crochet 7 double crochets in the same stitch. If the picked up stitch is too tight, you can pick up just the half loop. Crochet 4 double crochets. Skip 3 stitches. Crochet 5 slip stitches. Don't work too tight. Skip 2 stitches. Crochet 2 half double crochets. Based on the pattern chart, crochet to the top of the third petal of the chocolate sauce. Five T means crochet 5 half double crochets in the same stitch. Pick up the top half loop, crochet 5 half double crochets in the same stitch. Crochet based on the pattern chart to the end. Finish with one slip stitch. Leave a 10 cm long yarn tail. Thread the yarn into a darning needle. Follow the visible stitches and bring the yarn to the wrong side. Hide the yarn tail. The 10th round is completed. At the same time, the chocolate sauce part is now finished. Next, we will crochet the chocolate bar, one long and one short, 2 pieces, including the main body and the stripe cream. After crocheting, sew them together. Now, let's show. Below, we start crocheting the main body. Begin with a magic ring and crochet 5 single crochets. The first round is done. Next, let's start the second round. Crochet 1 chain as the standing stitch. Crochet 5 single crochets. We've reached the end of the second round. At this point, you need to flip the right side out before making a slip stitch. For the rest of the rounds, follow along with the right side facing outward. That concludes the main body section. Now, we'll move on to crocheting the stripe cream. Leave a 30 cm yarn tail for sewing. Crochet a certain length of chain stitches. Refer to the chart for the exact length. Enlarge the loop on the hook and set it aside for later use. If it's not long enough, continue crocheting more chains. The stripe cream is now complete. Let's start sewing next. Separate the strands of the chain stitch yarn tail. Leave one strand aside. Pass the remaining strands through the sewing needle. Secure the chain strip at the starting position of the chocolate bar. Insert a single strand of yarn through the gold tail needle. This is the dent between the rounds. The stripe cream is sewn onto this dent. Each is spaced 1 dent apart. Pick up the inside of the chain stitch bar. Sew together. Start going upwards. Tie a knot and cut the thread. Remove the extra chain stitches. Crochet 1 chain stitch. Leave a 10 cm yarn tail and break the yarn. If you find the chain is not long enough halfway through, add more chains and continue sewing. Everyone can follow this method to complete the other chocolate bar. Besides sewing, the cream strips can also be attached. Up to this point, the chocolate bar is covered. Move on to crocheting the rabbit. The rabbit requires crocheting the main body and ears. After completing, sew the main body and ears together. Then embroider the eyes and nose. Finally, apply the blush. Below, start crocheting rounds 1 through 9. There is no use of new stitches or new techniques here. Everyone follow the chart to complete it. Rounds 1 through 9 are completed. Below, start crocheting rounds 10 through 12. Make 1 chain as a beginning chain. Crochet 2 single crochets. Is SC2 tog. Work 1 incomplete single crochet in this stitch. In the next stitch, crochet 1 incomplete single crochet. Yarn over and pull through 3 loops. Complete 1 SC2 tog. Crochet 2 single crochets. Finish 1 group. Watch me demonstrate it again. Crochet 2 single crochets. Crochet 1 SC2 tog. Crochet 2 single crochets. Work rounds 10 to 12 based on the pattern chart. Complete round 12. Stuff the yarn tail into the main body. Crochet according to the chart until the end of round 13. Pick up the first single crochet stitch. Make 1 slip stitch and pull tight. Leave a 25 cm yarn tail. Thread the yarn tail into a darning needle. Pick up the front loops of each stitch one by one. Pull tight. Thread it one more time. Leave the yarn tail for later use. Up to this point, rounds 10 to 13 are completed. At the same time, the main part is also finished. Next, we will start crocheting the ears. Start with 5 chains. Count back 2 chain stitches. Make 1 slip stitch. Crochet 2 single crochets. Five-X means to crochet 5 single crochets into the same stitch. Crochet 2 single crochets. Crochet 1 slip stitch. Crochet 1 chain. Leave a 20 cm yarn tail for sewing. The side where you can clearly see the chain stitches is the right side of the ear. This is the front of the ear. Hide this yarn tail well. Thread the yarn into a darning needle. Look at the right side while working. Sew the ear onto the position of the first 2 rounds. Place the slip stitch marks at the back center. Tie a knot to secure it in place. Use the same method to complete the other ear. And sew it up. Up to this point, the ears are done. Next, we will start to embroider the eyes. Embroider them on the 6th round. Space the eyes 4 stitches apart. Please watch me demonstrate. Divide the yarn into strands. Take 1 strand to sew. Sewing more rounds can make the eyes thicker. Up to this point, the eyes are done. Next, we will start to embroider the nose. Embroider the nose right in the middle between the eyes. Up to this point, the nose is done. Next, we will start applying blush. Apply it near the eyelids and the middle of the ears. And brush on the blush. Up to this point, the blush is done. At the same time, the rabbit is also finished. Next, we will start crocheting a strawberry. The strawberry consists of the main body and leaves. Crochet the main body first, then the leaves. Then embroider the decorations. After that, sew the main body and leaves together. Now, let's show. Below, we will start crocheting rounds 1 through 6. These rounds did not use any new stitch techniques or methods. Everyone can complete it according to the chart instruction. Rounds 1 through 6 are completed. Now move on to the 7th round. Make 1 chain stitch as the turning chain. Crochet 3 single crochets. Crochet 1 SC2 tog. Crochet 6 single crochets. Skip 2 stitches. Chain 3 stitches. Crochet 6 single crochets. Complete this round according to the pattern chart. These 3 chain stitches don't count in the stitch count. The 7th round is completed. Now move on to the 8th round. Make 1 chain stitch as the beginning chain. Crochet 8 single crochets. Skip 2 stitches. Chain 5 stitches. Skip 2 stitches. The 3 chain stitches from the previous round don't count in the stitch count. Insert your hook into this stitch. Crochet 8 single crochets moving forward. Pick up the first single crochet stitch. Make 1 slip stitch. At this point, insert a scrap yarn to shape it. The 8th round is completed. Now move on to the 9th round. There are no new stitches or techniques used in the 9th round. Everyone completed according to the chart instruction. Up to this point, the 9th round is completed. Now start crocheting the leaf. Begin with the first round below. Leave a 30 cm yarn tail. Start with a magic ring. Crochet 5 single crochets. Bring the yarn tail to the right side. Tighten the center loop gently. Join with a slip stitch. The first round is complete. Now move on to the second round. Work 2 chains. Pick up the first single crochet stitch. Crochet 1/2 double crochet. Crochet 1 ch1sl picot. Work 2 chains. Insert hook in the same position. Crochet 1 slip stitch. Let's look at the next group of flowers. Pick up this stitch and crochet 1 slip stitch. Work 2 chains. Pick up the same stitch and crochet 1/2 double crochet. Crochet 1 ch1sl picot. Work 2 chains. Insert hook in the same stitch. Crochet 1 slip stitch. Complete 1 group of flowers. Continue crocheting 3 more groups of flowers like this. Pick up the previous round's slip stitch and crochet 1 slip stitch. Work 1 chain. Leave a 5 cm yarn tail. Hide the yarn on the wrong side. The second round is complete. Move on to crocheting the stem. Pick up 1 or 2 strands of yarn here. Chain 6. Tie off and secure with a darning needle. Bring the yarn to the wrong side. The stem is done. Now sew the decorations. Thread a 50 cm length of yarn through the sewing needle. Tie a knot and secure. Sew the decorative dots like this. The density of the dots can be adjusted according to your preference. After sewing, tie a knot and secure. Weave in the ends. That's it for sewing the decorations. Next, we'll start sewing the main part and the leaves together. Insert the yarn tail into the sewing needle. Sew the main part and the leaves together. Sew 5 points for each of the 5 leaves. Tie a knot and hide the yarn tail. The sewing of the main part and the leaves is now complete. Next, we'll crochet the strap. It includes the main body and the edge. Crochet the main body first, then the edge. Now watch me demonstrate. Below, we'll start crocheting the first row. Start with 5 chains. Crochet 3 chain stitches as the beginning chain. Count back 6 chain stitches. Pick up the 6th chain stitch from the back loop and work 2 double crochets. Crochet 1 chain stitch. Work 2 double crochets in the same position. Skip 1 stitch. Pick up the front loop of the first chain stitch. Crochet 1 double crochet. The first row is complete. Below, we'll start crocheting the second row. Crochet 3 chain stitches as the beginning chain. Turn the piece counterclockwise. Pick up the chain stitch from the previous row and work 2 double crochets. Crochet 1 chain stitch. Work 2 double crochets in the same position. Look at the back of the chain stitch. Pick up the third chain stitch of the beginning chain. Work 1 double crochet through the half loop and the back loop 2 strands. Crochet 1 double crochet. The second row is complete. Below, we'll start crocheting the third to fourth rows. Crochet 3 chain stitches as the beginning chain. Pick up the chain stitch from the previous row and work 2 double crochets. Crochet 1 chain stitch. Work 2 double crochets in the same position. Look at the front of the chain stitch. Pick up the half loop of the third chain stitch in the beginning chain, and the 2 strands on the back loop. Crochet 1 double crochet. The third row is complete. Finish the fourth row using the same method. Up to this point, the third to fourth rows are completed. Below, start crocheting the remaining rows. Follow the crocheting method of rows 3 to 4. Crochet the remaining rows. After finishing, refer to the pattern and measure the length. Adjust if it's too long or too short. Up to this point, the remaining rows have been covered. Next, start crocheting the edge. The starting tail of the yarn is on the left side. The side you're seeing is the right side. Crochet the edge while looking at the right side. Start with a slip knot. Pick up the stitch post of the second row's double crochet. Pull out the slip knot loop. Crochet 1 chain stitch. Continue picking up the stitch posts and crochet 2 single crochets. Pick up the chain stitch here and crochet 2 single crochets. Follow the chart to continue crocheting. Don't crochet the single crochets too tight. Move to the corner on the other side of the main part of the strap. Chain 1. Pick up the double crochet stitch and work 1/2 double crochet. Move forward and work 3 single crochets. Then work 1/2 double crochet. Chain 1. Based on the pattern chart, crochet to the beginning stitch. Chain 1. Pick up this stitch and work 1 single crochet. Pick up the chain here and work 2 single crochets. Chain 1. Pick up the chain here and work the last 2 single crochets. Leave a 10 cm yarn tail, and cut the yarn. Following the pattern, use a sewing needle to bring the thread to the wrong side. Tie a knot, secure it in place, and weave in the ends. That's all for the strap edge. At the same time, the tutorial for the strap is also complete. Next, we will start attaching the D-ring. Pass the strap through the D-ring. The side with clear single crochet stitches is the right side of the edging. Look at the back side of the strap. Fold it neatly on the curved side of the D-ring. Fold it to a height of about 3 rows. Thread a 20 cm yarn tail through the sewing needle. Tie a knot and secure it in place. Sew together using a whip stitch. Tie a knot and secure it. Weave in the ends. Everyone can sew the other D-ring using the same method. That's all for sewing the D-ring. Next, we will move on to the overall assembly. The assembly process involves several steps. You can follow the sequence below. First, sew on the chocolate sauce and tube beads. Then, sew together the main body and the bag lid. Next, secure the strap in place. After that, sew on the zipper. Then, fix the top decoration. Finally, add the finishing embellishments. Now, watch as I demonstrate. Next, we will sew the chocolate sauce. Divide the 50 cm chocolate sauce into strands using thread. Take one strand out to sew with. Tie a knot to secure it. Align the chocolate sauce with the center of the bag lid. You can place the petals freely as you like. Sew from the inside out in circles. Make the sewing point slightly tighter. This will ensure a tight connection between the top and bottom parts. If the thread runs short halfway through, tie a knot first to secure it. Thread the new yarn, tie a knot to secure it, and continue sewing. Finally, sew around the edge of the petals. Tie a knot to secure it, and weave in the ends. The back of the cover has no visible line. The sewing of chocolate sauce has been explained. Next, embroider the tube beads. Divide the 50 cm chocolate sauce yarn into strands. Take one strand and insert it through a fine gold needle. Weave in the ends, tie off, and secure. Embroider tube beads onto the chocolate sauce. Position and quantity are up to you. Everyone can choose their own preference and use this method to embroider the tube beads. Finally, hide the tails, tie a knot, and secure it. Up to this point, the explanation of embroidering tube beads is finished. At the same time, sewing the chocolate yarn and embroidering tube beads are also completed. Next, we will start sewing the main part and the cover together. Locate the starting position of the round crochet on the main piece. Count 9 stitches to the right. Use the 9th stitch as the starting point for sewing. Insert the yarn tail into the sewing needle. Use whip stitch to sew. Sew the main part and the cover together. It needs to be pulled tighter. For the last stitch, enter at the same position. Tie a knot on the wrong side and secure it. Weave in the ends. That concludes the explanation of sewing the main part and the cover. Next, we will start attaching the strap. Determine the position first. From the connection point between the main part and the cover, count 8 stitches toward the opening side. The last 2 rows with the dents are where the strap will be attached. Use the yarn from the main part without dividing it into strands. Thread a 25 cm sewing thread into the needle. Secure it on the wrong side, and bring it to the right side. Look at the back of the strap. Sew the D-ring onto the main part by wrapping around it. Stitch back for 5 stitches to secure it. Wrap and sew it one more time. Tie a knot on the wrong side to secure it. Weave in the ends. Everyone can use the same method to secure the other side. You can also determine the position of the strap based on your preference. Up to this point, we've finished explaining how to secure the strap. Next, we'll start sewing on the zipper. This is the edge of the zipper. Start by securing it on this side first. Pull the zipper up by 2 centimeters. Secure the edge about 1 centimeter upwards from the stop. Sew a few more times like this. Hide the yarn tails on the wrong side. Divide the thread for the 50 cm main piece into strands. Thread a single strand through the gold tail needle. Secure it on the wrong side. Bring the thread to the right side. Secure this one side that has already been fixed. Position the securing point slightly inside the edge of this side. Move another 1 cm or so inward. Align the edge of the main piece with the bottom edge of the zipper teeth. Secure the zipper first. Sew a few more times. Flatten the main piece and the zipper together. Now sew forward. Take one stitch moving forward. Sew in this manner until you reach the other side. For the last stitch, sew a few more times to secure it. After sewing one side, close the zipper and check. Open the zipper. Evenly adjust the other side. Sew using the same method. When securing the other side of the zipper, you can secure a section first. Close the zipper to check the effect. You can also make point-to-point sewing marks. Align the marks and sew accordingly. After finishing sewing this side and reaching the end, for the remaining part, you can decide based on your own preference. Leave it here directly, or cut it off. Leaving just a small piece is fine too. Finally, do the same as over here. Just secure it in place. That concludes the zipper sewing process. Next, assemble the top decorations. Sew the rabbit, strawberry, and chocolate stick onto the chocolate sauce. Below, we'll start securing the rabbit. at a position slightly to the right of the center, with the rabbit facing forward. Thread the yarn tail through the needle. Tack the bottom of the rabbit to the chocolate sauce. Tie off and secure it. Weave in the ends. The rabbit is now fixed in place. Next, secure the strawberry. Place the strawberry upright next to the rabbit. It's higher on one side and lower on the other. You can arrange it according to your preference. Sew the bottom stitches to the chocolate sauce. Make sure not to leave the chain stitches exposed on the outer side. Tie off, secure well, and weave in the ends. The strawberry is now fixed. Next, start securing the chocolate stick. Place the chocolate stick upright behind the strawberry. Sew the bottom stitches to the chocolate sauce. Tie off, secure well, and hide the yarn tails. Use the same method to secure the other chocolate stick. Finally, attach the strawberry to the chocolate stick. The chocolate stick is now fixed in place. That concludes the assembly of the top decorations. Next, we'll start adding embellishments. Here, glue on the 3D flower. Place chocolate sauce between the petals and stick on the gummy candies. Attach peach blossoms diagonally on the leather badge. Let me demonstrate the process in detail below. Compare the positions for reference. Apply glue to the corresponding petals. Press the 3D flower onto the bag. The 3D flower is now securely attached. Apply glue to the back of the resin gummy candy. Press it randomly between the chocolate sauce petals. Using the same method, everyone sticks the remaining gummy candies. Apply glue to the back of the peach blossom. Press it onto this corner of the leather badge. Use the same method to attach the peach blossom on the opposite corner. That concludes the section on adding embellishments. At the same time, the entire process of making the cream cone bag has been covered. If you have any questions during the process, don't hesitate to reach us via our website. Susan's Family, supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next episode.